Hi everybody. I hope you are doing well on this fine Monday. We are here for session 5, our penultimate episode of our Edinburgh by Night story, The Rising Sun. A little disclaimer before we get to our intros. This is the world of darkness. It is a grim parallel to our own reality, although our own reality is pretty grim, if we're being honest. Where monsters lurk in the shadows. And for our story here, we are going to be looking into the world of the kindred. They are the vampires who rule a city from the shadows. Due to the dark nature of this version of reality, our topics may touch on themes which are dark and disturbing. Specifically, there is themes of off-balance power dynamics, cult activities, and the loss of agency of our characters when they succumb to their own inner beasts, and the violent loss of control that can occur during this time. So far, 4 episodes in, we haven't fallen prey to our beasts yet, but you never know. We've discussed our lines and veils, and we have safety measures in place to look after our own well-being, but it is important that you're also looking after your own. As such, if you need to step away at any time, we would not judge, and in fact would support that level of self-care. That being said, let us introduce our players and our characters for this evening. I will begin with I am Emma Hamill on the internet. I use they them pronouns, and I am the storyteller.
Good evening, everyone. I am Penitent. I use he and they pronouns. And this evening I will be playing Lewis Cowan, who's he, him pronouns, our Tremere Seneschal.
Hello, hello, hello. I'm Syrinx, she, her, and tonight I'll be playing Sloane, our dearest Ventrue sheriff, also she, her.
Howdy, I'm Magpie. I use she, her pronouns, and I am playing Altair, who is not a Ventru, is our little pet cative. He uses he, him pronouns.
Hi everyone, my name's Satan. I use any pronouns, and tonight I will be playing Dragoslav, our Nosferatu Primogen. He uses he, him.
These are our collected few, the Camarilla Council of Edinburgh. A little disclaimer before we get going. This chronicle does use elements of the Karen story surrounding the fall of London in 2012. However, we are very much telling our own story that runs alongside it and slightly precedes it. Some events or characters may be adapted, added, or left out. We're just here to have fun. Tensions were high in Edinburgh, with an informative meeting between a Primogen and a prince, a sheriff and a pair of scourges, a seneschal and a Tremere lord, and a hound and a thin blood ghoul. Truly a fine example of the Camarilla court in action. With the increasing signs of there being something afoot in the city, our council members have been doing their best to uncover the truths lurking in the secrets of the shadows. Towards the end of our evening, a revelation was had after the hound was overheard telling the contact of the Thin Bloods to escape the city as soon as they could. Unfortunately, the one who overheard it was the whip of the Nosferatu Primogen, and the information has been shared, with a promise, however, not to divulge it in a way that might mean that this person would meet their final death. Will there be consequences for that? Probably. And will the council take some time to attend the concert that is going on tonight, where the Damned are playing? They did indeed play November 20th in Edinburgh. Our Thin Bloods are going to be there in attendance. First things first, let us rouse for this evening. And see if our beasts are still behaving. Oh, very nearly. Yep. Most of us handling that like the adult pros that we are caitiff, however. Beast isn't playing nice today. Also, if you spent any willpower last session, you can refresh it. I do half rounded up. And let us get going. Now, I know, obviously, there is a concert, as has been described, and there is confrontations, perhaps, that are looking to be had. further things needing investigated, we're gonna touch on a scene early in the evening. I know, the storyteller, that Lewis Cowan, our seneschal of the city, has an interest to speak with Altair, our hound. Lewis, how would you go about trying to encourage that counter to happen?
I think that our hound is known in certain circles amongst the sort of countercultural aspects of our fair city.
Mm-hmm.
I think that as a I've went through the official channels. I've asked his direct superior to arrange a meet, and that hasn't worked. So, the needs of the city come before, unfortunately, any individual kindred. So I'm going to have to make my own play, so to speak. So I believe that my primary goal to arrange this meeting is to go to a place that I am aware that Altair sort of frequents and be very visibly out of place and uh, awkward while throwing his name around, even if that just means that people who know him are like, "Come get your clown, your annoying person who seems to know you, and deal with it."
Altair, how would you respond to such things?
I think if he received a message sort of being like, there's someone here looking for you, I think after the events of last night, I think he would hope that it's somewhere out in the open, and
Understandable.
would approach with a little bit of caution.
Okay. Very good. Lewis, you will see that your attempts have proven fruitful as Altair Knox is approaching you.
Wonderful, yeah. I will sort of smile. Ah, Mr. Knox, wonderful to see you. I've been hoping to get a chance to speak with you in private.
Oh, my lord, yes, thank you. My apologies, I'm not entirely certain what this is about.
You sort of going up and being, I think, slightly too close to the relationship that I think Lewis and Altair have. Just sort of like, well, you and I have business, don't we? Perhaps we should talk about it somewhere a little bit less public.
Oh, yes, you have somewhere in mind, or are you leaving that up to me?
Sort of looking around. This isn't really my part of this part. This isn't really my scene, is it? So I defer to your judgment.
No, my apartment is just up the road.
Lead on, sir.
Right. Sort of has, I think when he turns, we'll have this look of, oh shit.
Yeah.
Doesn't like turning his back to Lewis.
I have no idea why. I'm perfectly chill and not weird.
We'll lead up towards the Tall Booth Tavern. You can see sort of the bottom floor is just sort of like average kind of pub vibes. There's a set of stairs that leads up, and then through that is sort of like a single floor, sort of above apartment. We'll give like a little look over his shoulder just to look as though he's looking to say that Lewis is still there. And then we'll unlock the door. You could have messaged me or asked Sloane.
I did. Seems that your manager isn't quite keen on us speaking, but the needs of the many outweigh the desires of the one.
Oh, yes, with everything going on at the moment. Please make yourself at home.
Thank you. Stands completely still, just in the middle of just kind of walks in, just stands like 2 or 3 steps out of the way of the door and just stands stock still.
Yeah. In theory, I would ask you to roll to see if you can give off either charming or intimidating presence. But I just like the idea of it legitimately being
I don't think
creepy.
I'm
Like,
not
doesn't it?
deliberately trying to be
Doesn't it?
creepy or anything
No,
like that.
no.
It's just
It's just yep. It just
these
is what
You
it
just
is.
doesn't
are.
occur.
Yeah,
It
you
just
This just
works.
doesn't occur
Yeah.
to Lewis. This simply doesn't occur to Lewis to like do things like again, not like move slightly,
Yeah.
like make minute movements and things like
Yeah.
that.
What you make of my actions is your concern.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very good. Carry on.
So
So
oh yes, sorry. I do apologize for causing disruption, and I wouldn't normally. It's just I know our interests have been intersecting lately, and I wish to get your perspective on what's happening in our fair city. I've spoken directly with Mr. Petrovic, and I know that you and he sort of were working on a different angle than my own investigations.
yes, I admit it's been scarce in terms of information at the moment. We were following what we think is some sort of drug generating house out towards the coast. Admittedly, we didn't find a whole amount, perhaps that there's 2 or 3 people living there. Sloan gave me some further information of who was in attendance at the home. And he's sort of looking as though he's trying to sort of pull it up completely in some sort of order.
Mhm.
We're aware that there are thin bloods in the home, perhaps one of our own. I believe it was Toreador. I admit that I made contact with one of the thin bloods, though I'm not entirely certain if it was thin blood or somebody who simply works for them. The best I got out of them was an invitation to a concert. They seem to know very little, other than potentially what drugs may be of interest to kindred.
Hmm. Well, that seems very helpful. You say something about a concert, perhaps. Is this something where the potential thin bloods are going to be attending or something like that?
Well, judging from the nature of what they were listening to the night we went to go and visit, yes.
Interesting. Well, that seems wonderful. It seems like you've been incredibly incredibly effective. It does seem you're you know it strikes me that you and I haven't had the opportunity to work with together directly previously, and I'm perhaps now regretting that.
Oh, yes, I am perhaps a little older than I seem. I know how to get my way around the world, but, well, not my circus, not my monkeys.
You are a wise man to keep that mentality. Do what you need to do, and then leave the rest to the others. Absolutely, that's understandable.
Exactly. We all have our talents. You, for example, with your more esoteric side of the world. May I ask if there's been any findings of that I may begin to draw together a spider web with?
Well, I have some theories. I've relayed to Ms. Bailey. Just regarding the our thing. I'm interested. Now that you mention it, those thin bloods. You wouldn't happen to be able to get a sample of any of their blood for me, would you?
Ah, I could try. I admit it might be a
That'd
little difficult, but
be delightful if you could. It would be very, very helpful to my to my current investigations.
yes, my lord, if you may, I
Oh, please,
don't
please
believe you.
don't. We don't need titles. Please just call me Lewis.
Louis, I cannot help but notice that you didn't quite answer my question. I understand that in the world that we live in, that knowledge is currency, but in this instant, we are the bank, not the traders. So if you'd be willing to share.
Yes, of course. Well, there's, as you rightly suspected, there is some form of ritual being enacted in that site that you found. It's potentially linked to ourselves in some capacity, but how that is so far is currently eluding me. And it's something to do with a worship of the sun, which is very intriguing.
Worship of the sun.
Hmm.
I do admit I believe I had something the other day, a small run-in with sun, with something that felt like light.
Oh, did you? How interesting. Where was this?
I was out on Carlton Hill.
Golden Hill.
I
Of course.
will say, I have perhaps a little interest and perhaps a little experience with our more glamorous kin, shall I say, of the Fey side. Only past dealings in scant amounts, but this does reek of their touch.
Oh, Mr. Knox, you are a man of many layers. You will have to tell me about those dealings one time. If you have any theories about their involvement, please, if you have any contacts, I would, if you that would be a wonderful avenue of investigation.
Leave it with me. I'll see what I can rustle up.
Thank you so much. Oh, guess you know you do really good work, and it does seem like perhaps I should put a word in for the prince about perhaps reconsidering your employment, perhaps maybe a more senior role.
Oh, I admit I'm rather happy where I am, if I'm quite honest with you. I enjoy getting to, I guess, speak with the others a little more. At my level, I'm more allowed to converse with our kindred at a lower level.
A wise man knows happy in his station.
Definitely so. You are rather kind today, if I may say.
People have a view of me, but perhaps due to my clan, that I'm somehow unapproachable. I like to think that I'm merely goal orientated.
I'd be inclined to agree. You do rather well with our clan.
Much appreciated. I won't keep you. Is there anything else is there anything that you need of me while I'm here, though? I know we haven't had much ability to interact.
Hmm.
I
Off the
see. I feel
top-
like all I've done is put demands upon yourself rather than this being a two-way street. And we're all allies after all.
Oh, no, I work entirely best when given a clear directive. I rather appreciate it. At least you do so kindly. If there are any other lines of inquiry you'd like me to follow, please, if you follow up with Miss Burley, I'm sure we could come to some sort of arrangement to see how we could follow this through.
Fantastic. Well, if you need me, you please don't hesitate to call. If
Thank
that's
you,
everything, Mr. Knox.
I think that should be, yes. Thank you very much, and I
Turns and
do
walks away
hope
while
that
you're
the
even talking.
information. Just phone me next time. Don't. Oh, you'll get stabbed. I think we'll wait. We'll count 5 seconds for him to get down the steps. Locks all the doors.
Yeah. You don't need to breathe, but you feel a strange urge to exhale for no reason.
This is pure cinema.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah. Walk away while you're talking.
I love Louise.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Excellent. Bravo. Okay. The next scene we're going to be moving towards will be the concert that is on tonight. The band The Damned are playing in the HMV Playhouse. Real concert that happened. For those watching along with us just now, I'm going to drop the playlist into our Discord. If you're watching from elsewhere, you can check out our social media. I put together a playlist of the actual concert itself as well for the ambiance. We know how one of you will be going, the reason for going, aside from just being interested in the band itself. So I would like to know what situations occur that would pull all four of you towards this meeting point.
I have an inkling of an idea if you'll allow it.
Please.
I would so imagine a world where the scourges inform, like they would have an idea of thin bloods are going to be there. Um, and I would love to be be my hook in and be like, one, I know they told me, so one, I'm interested in being there myself.
Mhm.
But also I wouldn't discourage them from being there either. It's a little group exercise. Team building helps, people say.
Yeah. So you're not only going but hoping that they're going to a little gathering of the
Absolutely.
law
Yeah.
enforcement of the city.
I would love that.
Yeah. Very good. Um delicious. Lewis and or Dragoslav.
I'm trying to get you to go because I don't have any ideas. So while I think of something.
Okay. Well, you see, Altair is a very popular man tonight. Um, and after what Dragoslav has learned the previous night, I think tonight he wakes with trying to find said bedroom. Um, and he's like, well, I don't have his phone number, and I don't want to put this through Astrid. But I am good at finding people, and I'm very good at following them. So I feel like if we go back to the beginning of the night, we see the images of Lewis asking people for Altair, and then Altair coming, and in the background you just see a slightly tall, blurry, not slightly tall, very tall, blurry figure who has been also looking for Altair and has found somebody else that is outwardly looking for Altair. So why do the work when he can just follow Lewis? And after that, he's just been following Altair tonight until figuring that he's going to a concert.
Okay. Oh, Altair. Very good. It feels like each of the scenes and moments and build-ups that are happening tonight is just another nail for the coffin and another nail in the coffin. All right. Very good. So we just need to figure out a way, either from your own head, Penitent, or from somebody else, maybe tagging you in some way, to get Lewis to the concert tonight.
I mean, I think the reason Lewis wants to go is purely because, there's a potential lead. Altair thinks that it might be difficult to get the blood himself. I perhaps might be able to do that more directly myself, although again, two avenues of attack is probably the better way. Is always better than one. I think in terms of how I get in, I'm quite rich, so I'm pretty sure I could just bribe my way in.
Yeah.
But we can get to that when we get to it, I suppose.
Yeah.
But yeah,
The good thing about being part of the council of a city is having means of getting your way onto things that you need. And if you can't do it yourself, you can always get Mummy Prince as a toreador of the city, would find some way of blackmailing other people into doing what she needs. Okay. So, yeah. Whether the interest is the Thin Bloods or Altair, all of you are going to find yourself at the concert. I imagine by the time you go there, the gig may be in full swing with a support act. As people start to arrive in dribs and drabs as each other, eventually the band themselves will come out to play their set. And yeah, Altair, you arrive knowing that there are people that you are going to be either trying to A, meet and talk to, or B, are you just trying to look out for their safety tonight? What is your angle?
He's mostly looking out for safety.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he'd make any outward attempts to contact them,
Mm-hmm.
but I think it's definitely keeping an eye on them.
Okay. Very good. Now the easy thing for Altair is that you blend in to the crowd here. The Damned are technically post-punk, but they're very much in that goth flavoring of post-punk. And everybody here looks like you. And the good thing about this crowd for vampires to fit into is that they're all trying to make themselves look like they are undead. So if somebody shows up looking pale and interesting and looking a bit undead, they're like, neat. Like, you're one of us. It's the best place to blend in, honestly. So you're able to get in, merge around. Can I get a wits awareness? I would allow investigation if you're stronger with investigation, but one of the two to try and find your little group of thin bloods.
Hang on, hang on. Yeah, I'll go with awareness. Could I try a reroll?
You're muted, Emily.
I'm so muted. Yes, the answer will always be yes. If you have willpower to spend, please.
Oh
Oh,
no! Oh dear!
Uh-huh.
excellent. Oh, one of your beasts wants to play now. Love to see that.
And I'm watching.
Yes. I think a couple of things are going to happen here. It's still a success. It's still 5. You are able to find them. To my view, when it is a messy critical, it's a success, but it's your beast that succeeded, not you. And there's an element, especially after the situation yesterday and the conversation you had at the start of this evening with the Seneschal, where you feel like a caged beast who has people coming for you with a darkness in their heart, and you're caged and cannot get free. And that sensation just seems to ramp up when you are here for various reasons. You are going to see the person that you met and possibly one other that you loosely recognize from when you and Dragoslav were looking in the window of the kitchen at their house. That's definitely the crowd. There is about 5 of them that are there. They just seem to be enjoying themselves currently. You're going to feel an initial panic for their safety. A panic that whatever is coming for them with its own hunger and malevolence also should have a hunger and malevolence for you too. And so you do not feel safe. Your beast does not feel safe. And I think to add a little kernel to why you don't feel safe, you're gonna not only see Sloane arriving not by herself, but flanked with the Scourges, but also 2 other kindred that you perhaps were not expecting to see tonight. One of them, it is not unusual to see her in places like this, and that's Trisha Gordon, who is the Harpy. She is something of a tastemaker for Edinburgh's kindred and is very into the 80s right now. But she is with Heston Wright, who is the Ventru Primogen. And the 2 of them are stood off to the side at a section that's slightly elevated so that they get a bit of a view. And there's going to be a moment where you could swear that like you and Heston's eyes are going to lock and his head will tilt slightly, but he keeps looking around the room. So on several fronts, you are feeling slightly panicked, and your internal being is a little more feral than normal.
Can I make that worse?
Sure. I'm also gonna say that depending on what roles you choose to do tonight, I will, when it feels appropriate, do a 2 dice penalty if it's something that shouldn't be easy for you because you were panicked. So it's not going to apply for every role, but where it feels suitable, you're not acting so hot right now. And sure, seeing Sloane and the Scourges, and then those two people, and oh god, Dragonflap, how do you make it worse?
There is as he I like to picture things very cinematically. So we kind of see him looking out and we kind of feel that panic, right? Of him seeing the Thin Bloods and Sloane and the Scourges and the other people from the council. And for a moment, we just see a shadow of a head coming right next to his, and then on the other side, a heavy hand. And you just hear, "Hello, little magician."
I think he panics the second he feels a hand, and so next to him, he will wheel around with an elbow, sort of like aimed at whoever's behind him, and will pull up short the second he realizes who it is. Are you aware that sneaking up on people in public is not necessarily the most of polite things? Todd?
Lord, you don't have to call me that.
No. I should have expected you here. How are you?
Well, I'm having actually quite a delightful night. You seem to be on the nervous side.
Yes, it's a long time since I've been to a concert, and it's a little busy. I'm not necessarily enjoying the crowds, if I'm honest. I may give it to the intermission and leave.
We could steps to somewhere less public, should you wish.
Yes.
Good. And I think his hand moves from Alter's shoulder to behind Alter's neck. And just holds. Follow me.
A similar cinematic vibe. His beast is just a black dog pacing behind the rib cage. It is gnawing at the bars, trying to get out, and he's thinking, I didn't stand close enough to any of the exits.
Yep.
But he will follow Dragoslav's lead.
Yeah. And I think it's ever present, and it's almost something that could be audible in your own throat, but not willed by you. A growl that is not the angry, defensive growl that a beast might have, but a scared growl. You need to get away from me right now when you corner something. What I will say is, Sloane, you'll be able to clock Altair in the space amongst the other things that are going on. You will see him tense, seemingly speak to himself, and start moving away in an awkward fashion, which make of that what you will. You'll also going to be able to clock Lewis, and you will recognize the Harpy and Ventru Primogen are here together, seemingly scoping the place out as well. You don't know yet what the Thin Bloods look like, but the Scourges do. So, but let's hear what this conversation is between Dragoslav and Altair.
I think Dragoslav will find any back door, any supply closet, anything that is just kind of puts them kind of in the background with the music, like behind a wall, somewhere less public.
Yeah.
But say it's a small supply closet, he will have Altair go in, and he will stand and close the door and stand in front of the door, but let Altair go and give him space. I thought you'd be enjoying a night like tonight.
Yes, with everything going on though at the moment, it's just a little heavier than I'd like it to be.
Mm. I can understand that.
Mm.
Have you found anything else about the Thin Bloods? I am
Didn't
also
necess-
out working tonight.
They didn't necessarily offer a lot of information about what they were doing. They're skittish. I suppose that makes sense. That's about it, really.
How funny. Because I'm here because I heard the Thin Bloods were putting this together. Big coincidence that you are here too.
I was given an invite, yes.
Oh? By who?
By, I believe, one of the Thin Bloods or Scourges I was chatting to. I went in for regalia, so of course they knew.
Ah.
What's this about?
You're playing a very dangerous game out there in a very public way.
Go on.
You remind me of someone that I care for a lot. Still young in their on life in terms of their closeness to humanity, to the kind condition.
All right.
And I can respect uh, what people with that effect do to keep their grasp on something that will eventually slip away entirely from their hands. So I do appreciate the things you do, much like this person I care about, to maintain that. But to be so open and honest to these thin bloods out there, you are not a newborn. You should know better, little caitiff, about what you share in such quite open and public spaces.
All right. Well, should have expected you to have known all of this.
You should have. But do not fear. You can expect no loose lips, as they say, from me. I
May
cannot assure you that nobody else heard it.
Thank you. May I at least defend myself?
Please do.
I am older than quite a fair few of you at this point. And yet somehow I'm made to play the fool. I would hate to do so for such a circus of violence. They've done nothing wrong. That's the only reason why I did what I did. That's all. That's all I have. That is everything I have to offer with you on the table. And anything else I've left in my pockets, I assume you'd know anyway.
Probably. What I want to know from you, Mr. Knox, is why are you here? And why do such, well, a rather foolish act with who you have as your boss?
Here is in the concert, here is in Edinburgh. Which one?
Edinburgh, the concert, all of it, really. What do you think is going to happen when Sloane finds out?
As I think before I move every time. I assume either somebody is going to make an attempt on my life or my life is going to fall apart. My life falls apart and then I move somewhere else. The cycle continues itself, as is customary for my kind. Somebody brings the scourges in, or somebody will bring in somebody who doesn't quite like me. And I move on. Please don't think I've just moved around Britain. I did something quite so foolish because I don't know, my sense of self got the better of me. That was foolish, yes. I should have thought into it more. I should have
Those
known.
pesky human emotions always get to you in the end.
But where would we be if we lost them?
Well, right now I'm in a sewer most of the time.
You know, and pardon me stepping a little above my station, but at this moment in time, I think I've square danced right all over the hierarchy. I rather think you're one of the more human of our little gathering.
Mm. Sure. Maybe less cruel, I would say, but
You don't seem to actively try and harm people.
they don't have to. They do so themselves. They put themselves in harm's way, just as you have. But my business is not in hurting people, is knowing people. And you are difficult to know. You are difficult to figure out because you either have a death wish or just ready to move on in hopes that nothing from here will follow you. And I will say Miss Sloane is quite a stubborn person when, well, she has a certain objective.
I think she'd find a new mouse to play with in a certain amount of time.
Sure, if
I've
her pride doesn't get to her first.
True, yes. I have to ask, I had a similar conversation with Lewis this morning about currency. What exactly is it that I owe you to keep this quiet?
Well, technically, my secrecy has already been paid for. But if you are willing to help me in the future, well, that would just be also neighborly of you.
I have one ask is that no harm comes to nobody that deserves it or doesn't deserve it.
You really are just like talking to him. Okay.
But we'll offer a handout.
As I said, Mr. Locks, I am not in the business of harming people, at least not physically. And don't worry, should any harm happen, I will keep it to myself. Better to stay in the dark and not push your head too far up.
Then you have me at your service.
Think of it more as partnership.
Then you have me as your partner.
I think he takes Altair's hand and he grasps it. And what a lot of people forget is that fortitude is a thing that Nosferatu have. So it is not a painful grasp, but it's a grasp that is only going to be over once he decides to let go. And he leans in and says, just make sure that keep your things to yourself. You are no use to me if you are dead by either Sloane's or other people's hands.
I have an entire thing planned out for this.
Ah,
Stories to tell, things to weave. It's under control. You were the only loose end. What I would like to ask is perhaps no harm come to the Thin Bloods. I offered them that at least. They're going to move on. They're going to leave the city. They're going to be completely out of your hair by 2 days' time.
okay. What I ask of you is that you tell me what exactly they are doing here with this event. It seems that you have already made contact and established quite a promising relationship with them, at least for the next 2 days.
I will make an attempt to find out more. I just need them to live that long. I admit all I know at this moment in time is that there are a number of Thin Bloods and one Toreador. That's information from Sloane, so this is given information. Tonight they're just in this business. They're selling merchandise. They are running back-end operations. That's all. And I swear upon my sire's life that that is all I know.
Yes, your sire. I believe you. And he takes a gloved hand and he just pulls down his mask and say, "It is a pleasure doing business with you, Mr. Knox." And there's whatever hint of a smile can be seen in that face of his. Or maybe a little twitch of what's left of the muscles on the cheekbone.
And Altair is quiet a moment to look at him. Not in any sort of no negative way. There is no bitterness or vitriol behind it. It is just I have been given this chance and I want to take it. Not like that.
What if we were gothic vampires holding hands at a Damned concert, though?
Yeah.
Very good. So, yeah. It's like our own weird twisted version of Romeo and Juliet, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're both gonna die, or one of them is gonna live, or whatever. I don't know
Hey
what's
ho,
happening.
There's been too little romance in this game, apparently, for Emma.
Agreed. Yes. Indeed. Okay. While that conversation is happening, you other two may go about your own business. I think one thing you'll notice if you just stand to watch the crowd a little longer, either of you, is that the two other kindred council members that are here, Heston Wright and Trisha Gordon, head towards the Thin Bloods. And the Thin Bloods are stood at a table that is selling merchandise. And then there's a couple of them who are like sat at the back where like the stores of things are, where people approach to have conversations with them so they can sell merchandise. They're going to be making a lot of money today. And you see the two of them swinging around the back. At first, casting eyes over the merchandise. Heston does not seem interested. It's not really his bag. He is Industrial Revolution new money. Why is he here? Who knows? He goes to speak to the people at the back. At first, I think Trisha is going to look appraisingly over the merchandise and actually hand over some cash and buy a t-shirt, it looks like, and then goes to join him. So these are things observed. I imagine at some point Altair will also come back into the space. Sloane, you will notice that like when it becomes clear where the Thin Bloods and their ghouls and the general that gathering, that group are there, the scourges look a little jumpier. Particularly our little chav. He looks over, spots them, looks to you, gives you a big grin.
If you would allow me,
Uh-huh.
as I see the two council members, I think clocking the fact that Altair was acting a little weird but walked out, my immediate interest to speak to Need into why these two are here. So,
Yes.
as they go to the merch table and stuff, and as they are clearly making some kind of path, my intention is to go and join them in a certain way. So before I do that, as I look, and the scourges next to me are clocking the Thin Bloods, I'll say, I'm assuming I don't need to tell the two of you how to do your job discreetly.
Of course not. I'm discreet. I'm a perfect picture of discreet. Look at me.
Because if you're not discreet, you're my problem to fix. And I don't want that.
Don't worry. We know how to do our stuff quiet, unseen like.
Good. I'll be back in a few minutes. There's some interesting people here. I am interested to hear your results when I'm back.
Sure. Listen. We may end up trying to take care of a situation today, but it looks like things have just got a little bit interesting, so perhaps we need to get intel from you first. No, if tonight is the night to act.
Dwindling the numbers a little bit never hurts.
Yeah. We're like animals, you know. You wait for one to scurry off away from the herd. Have a good evening.
I think
Yeah.
I think with him like doing the cool synonym, I'm like I'm out.
Yeah.
This is not my thing.
Yeah.
So I just repeat. Uh, let's say a few moments. I'll be back. And I just leave them to it. And
Yeah.
I would like to walk towards where the two council members are busy and preferably so they are heading to back away from the main room, or
No, they are heading to a side of the room. So the side of this big main hall is where there is a couple tables set
yes,
up to
the
sell
merch.
merchandise. And that appears to be where the Thin Bloods and their gaggle are doing their business. They are both
Okay.
selling merchandise and selling drugs.
Yes.
And it seems like the two council members have gone over to speak to them.
Yeah. Okay. Then I will just casually approach the two of them, following in their path until at a certain point they stop and they start a conversation. Preferably, if not, I can deal with it. My intention is to, as I get pretty close, I rouse my blood to activate awe seem a little bit more appealing and charismatic to the people around me,
Mm-hmm.
so that I am, of course, lovingly welcomed into the conversation with my two friends that I know, and that I will give a little hand on the back as I'm surprised but pleasantly surprised to see them here tonight.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can head over. It's going to be easiest for you to approach the harpy, Trisha Gordon. She was going in at the back end of this conversation. So you will be swooping in at the back of her, but still in view and in conversation distance with Hessen as well. And she'll turn around and do, as all good Toreador harpies should, a very bright and happy to see you. Oh my gosh! Hi.
I would say it's a surprise to see you, but I can see how this is your scene. However, our
Mm-hmm.
mutual friend over there, I don't quite see it.
Oh yeah. And she reaches over to like push at his upper arm slightly to give him a bit of a nudge. Yeah, I'm just trying to get him to come out and do cool things. Does he look like he's
How,
fitting in? Doesn't he just look like he is fitting in? And he
why
eyes the two of you
ever and
suspiciously.
how ever did he become your pet project is my question.
No. Given enough time, everybody becomes my pet project.
I will have to beg to disagree until you make me yours, which we'll see if that ever happens. So,
You're already so stylish, though. I don't need to work on you.
so this is about style then, while you're
Sure.
here.
Mm-hmm. What about you? Is there something exciting going on?
Well, at these kind of events, there's always lots of very interesting people. Best
Mm-hmm.
place to be people spotting. Is that why you're, and I do turn my gaze to Heston. Is that why you're here? People spotting.
Yes, I find trying to get to know the full intersectionality of our cities beneficial. This is not normally my sort of space, but I suppose it is nightlife, and now and again you have to broaden your horizons a little.
So you're broadening your horizons with, and I look at the merch table, t-shirts that are, I will say, I'm sure everything suits you, but there are limits.
Yes, I don't think I would be caught dead wearing any of that, but who knows? Maybe in the next lifetime. I prefer a little more style.
Yeah, I would indeed. It's quite a surprise to see you so hastily walking towards indeed a merch table that is not, I wouldn't peg as your style.
Mm,
So why the certain haste in trying to get to this merch table?
there are some people I am looking to get to know a little better.
I That is a very obvious answer because, well, we're all here to either listen to music and get to know a few people. It's just
Mm.
a curious choice as to who you want to get to know.
Mm. Well, perhaps when we are not in such mixed company, you and I can talk about it.
Oh, I know a quiet smokers area outside, and I could desperately use a smoke in this crowded environment.
Mm. Then let's lead the way.
I'll hold out an arm.
He'll eye it for a moment, but we'll take your arm. He's a gentleman.
Okay. Yeah, I'll gladly um get away from the very crowded area.
Mm-hmm. Interesting times we live in. Wouldn't you say?
Oh, times are always interesting. It just matters on what perspective you take.
Mm.
So I wouldn't say now is more interesting than before, but there's always things happening. Now, I do genuinely wonder why you apparently are aware enough to know specific people you want to get to know.
Mhm.
Question is, I thought it was made very clear to all of us that getting to know is not on the agenda.
Um, please, Sloan, may I ask for, technically speaking, we're going charisma persuasion, but there are many ways to approach this line of questioning. We could be trying to intimidate, we could be trying to do any number of things. We do have all up, which is good. What kind of approach do you think you're trying to take here? Trying to force an answer out of him through essentially social combat, and perhaps manipulating him more than trying to charm him.
I'm curious to see what my I was trying to find what my like specialty that I took was. in
Well, if we
intimidation.
do the little pencil edit symbol, coercion. So yeah, if you want to manipulate intimidation and try to coerce an answer out of him, then please throw your all at him.
I think
Uh,
I think definitely the beginning of the situation is I want clear answers as soon as possible.
yes,
People give clearer answers when they're either when they're scared or when they are very, very charmed. I
Mm,
know that this person has known me, and I know this person long enough for a like immediate charm offensive to not work and immediately have
sure,
questions. So
yeah,
I think right now, indeed, my way to go is coercion, and then possibly, depending on the answers, there's a charm offensive that could happen.
yeah. Indeed. So please, to begin with, can we get a intimidation manipulation check? You can add your specialty and you can add your presence rating.
I don't wait. Let's see if I am too fast. Oh, okay. Yes.
If I can help with building the role, just let me know.
No, it should be all good.
Now, 6 is absolutely wonderful. Would you like to see if you could get even more?
Yeah.
You're in no risk of it becoming dangerous because you just have a regular success in your hunger dice. How big of a whammy are we going here? 8 successes. um hmm. I think what happens here with this role essentially in terms of what you're trying to present with intimidation manipulation and an understanding that he is the Ventru Primogen, you are a Ventru and you are a sheriff, so there has to be a certain amount of respect for the role. And I guess him understanding that he needs to be careful in this situation, which is why the intimidation is working, because if he was to try to lie here, it could just lead to more trouble, right? So it's almost intimidating him to push his answer a little straighter towards the truth than a lie. Doesn't mean he's going to give you the full truth, because um well, I understand that there is a certain view to be taken towards who and what those people are. But I'm a businessman, and when you see something that you could angle towards your advantage, why not take it before the opportunity is lost? Do you know
So,
what they're capable of?
I'll let you do your first. I'll let you do your whole spiel before I reply.
Mm. I wouldn't say that I have a spiel for you. I would not insult your intelligence, so
No, but you probably have a business proposal or some kind of pitch that you've done multiple times now. It seems practiced, so I'd love to hear it. What do I know about what they can do?
oh, I'm not sure. I think there is a tendency for many of our kind to simply see the flaws in what they are and what has led to their creation. And there is speculation as to what that might mean. I am not necessarily somebody who believes in the uh, ghost stories and dogma of our origins. And to my mind, there are things that they can create that benefit us. And so, I mean, letting them live as, free and equal citizens, perhaps not. I understand the views that people are taking, but viewing them as a tool that does have useful applications, well, perhaps they are an opportunity towards progress.
So that's your sales pitch.
I'm not trying to sell you anything.
I think you better, Heston, because from what I'm hearing in our little conversation here, our tete-a-tete, is that you, a kindred with a high position in the Camarilla, is hedging their bets and doubting their loyalty to the Camarilla and the direct orders of the Prince, whose stance on Finblitz is very, very clear. So I think if you don't see it as a sales pitch yet, I would start to see it that way.
Hmm.
Of course, talking as fellow clanmate, there is weight in the blood that we share, which is why I go into the sales pitch perhaps not unbiased, but it's not a good view for now.
Of course. I would not expect any less.
So,
Well, they are here in the city and have been for some amount of time. So someone was caught slipping for them to exist in the first place, no?
do you claim to know who? Do you claim to offer that up in some kind of, well, in your deal, in your business venture, to leverage that to allow them to remain and be tools because they were just a result of someone else's slipping?
I would hate to start bandying around that line of thinking, given that it is probably your underlings that are responsible for ensuring that they don't exist in a city.
I believe you know that me as a sheriff, I fix masquerade breaches. What is up to the scourges to do, that's the direct orders of the prince. Again, orders which sound like you are not very keen on following.
I'm not going to stop it.
Yes, yes. And that's how we build a loyal Camarilla, isn't it? By just not stopping things.
It's not my position to stop them, that's for somebody else. I simply wanted to make use of it while they still existed. Out of curiosity, to know what it is that they can do.
And so you claim you figured it out.
I know some of the things, yes. One of them can walk in the sun.
Ghouls can do such a thing as well. Doesn't seem very special to me.
Ghouls are blood slaves. It's not an embrace.
Give a thin blood enough blood, and it's also a blood slave.
Give a thin blood the right blood, and they're not a thin blood anymore.
Yes, and then they're just a kindred like the rest of us.
Mm-hmm.
Give
would be a
that
pity.
kindred enough blood, and they're also a blood slave. So what else makes them special?
Look, I understand that you have a very black and white view of the situation, and that's fine. Having different opinions are all right. I haven't done anything that actually breaks any of the traditions in speaking with them. Have I?
I am not personally the one who's indeed on your ass if you go through with what you're going through. And I'm not even inclined to immediately go tattle to someone. I'm just waiting until you make it enticing or interesting enough to try and understand your viewpoint. Because, well, what is better than a united clan, isn't it, Heston? So I'm trying to unify. I just need you to meet me there halfway.
And are we unifying under your rule or the prince's?
Is the prince our clan?
No.
I'm talking about clan, Heston.
Well, in that regard, I'm the primogen.
There we go. So, Primogen, what's the one enticing sales pitch that makes your view the best one out?
Control. Things are changing. Progress is coming. And it is important to adapt to change, or else you make yourself obsolete. I would like some amount of control over that. But some are traditionalists and set in their ways, and that's fine. If we all had the same opinion, life would be very boring, my dear.
If you all had the same opinion, there wouldn't be a need for journalism, so you don't need to tell me.
View me as simply somebody who has a different opinion, but no less respect for the other sides.
If only those two sentences went hand in hand. Well, that might just be me and my penchant for the way we word things or philosophizing. Very interesting conversation, Heston. I do think there were some, well, Finbloods eyeing to have a conversation with you, and I'm sure you're also very eager to start building on your business plan. I won't be the one sending in your way tonight, so send me your pitch deck after tonight.
Oh, certainly. I'm sure it'll wing its way to you when it's ready.
I take like a step back to gesture that they are the one who should be leaving.
And he is going to give you a bow of his head, which, you know, in traditional circles is a mark of respect. It is not a flippant means of saying goodbye. And he will turn and leave.
Interesting.
Indeed. These are interesting times. And
Not
perhaps
more
there
interesting
is
than other times.
no changes are coming. It feels like a perfect point, although we're a couple minutes early, but that's fine. We're gonna go to our break now. Take 10 minutes. So please go rest up, stretch your legs, get a drink. See us back here in 10 minutes. Roll for hunting, everybody, and see how many dots of hunger or thirst you can quench. See you in 10. Hi. I hope you rolled well on your hunger checks, everybody. We're back at it again. We are at a Damned concert. It's the 20th of November. It's a bit chilly, mostly wet rather than snowy out on this fine Edinburgh evening. And in the concert, it is not just the performance that is exciting. There have been some very interesting conversations happening so far this evening. A lot of little air claps at excellent social moments. We are back in the gig. The music is still playing. People are dancing and enjoying themselves while creatures of the night, the real creatures of the night, are prowling around, engaging in some tomfoolery. Lewis, let's check in with you. A couple of side little conversations have happened with people. When you arrived, you saw that there are some of your compatriots are here.
Yeah. I think Lewis intended to try and especially after seeing that they were there, I think Lewis's first instinct was to try and capture the attention of the scourges, try and get a quick conversation with them, because if they're there, and I already know that the Finnbloods are meant to be here, they probably know who the Finnbloods are, because Altair didn't give me that information specifically, so I may be able to glean that from them.
Yeah.
But I imagine that they're difficult to get to pin down, given that they're trying to, do their best impression of a sort of lion hunting a herd of wildebeest and just waiting for Finnbloods to go to the toilet and then murder them.
You're not that far wrong. They're definitely doing a bit of lurking. So you get the impression that perhaps you would be interrupting their flow to go to talk to them now, which, to be honest, sounds like something Lewis might do if you felt so inclined. But for now, you're like, you know what? This is probably something I should leave alone.
I can catch up to them later. I can.
Yeah.
It's fine. I think I sort of. So I'll have seen. I'll presumably have seen Sloane go for her private conversation with Heston, and seen. Did I see Altair sort of talk to himself and wander off?
Yes,
Was
possibly
he
you
gone
might
before I
have
got here?
clocked that. Yeah, he seemed to have wandered off. There was a few things going on, but you have seen that Altair has probably returned to the main room.
Yeah, then I suppose I think the first step is actually if I see Altair having came back to the main room,
Yeah.
I kind of just make a beeline towards him, and just kind of just walk up to him and just like, Mr. Knox, good to see you. We keep sorry to keep pestering you this evening.
Yes. No, it's not pestering. It's just running into.
I realized the individuals we spoke about earlier that you said that I should try and meet while we're here, that are here. You didn't give me a description of them, so I thought, oh, I know. Why not just go and speak to them together with Mr. Knox? That would be the best plan, surely.
Yes. I have actually come to learn that they're in a very social space. So perhaps it may not be possible tonight.
Oh, I'm sure they'll want to talk to you. You're a charming young man.
That's very kind of you. Thank you. Leave it with me. I'll see what I can rustle up.
Fantastic. While you're doing that, I'm going to go and get the rest of our little. I'm going to. I saw your employer here earlier, and I thought, that's a person who I should speak to this evening. Just wait here, and I suppose I'll try and go and find her and see if we can have ourselves a little meeting of the minds, as they say.
Wonderful. Dragoslav is around here somewhere as well.
Oh, delightful. I presumed that him or one of his representatives would be, so anything that we discussed would get to him anyway, so fantastic.
Yes, while
If you see him, just point him in my direction.
I will do just that. Whilst you're chatting away to Miss Burley, I will try and work on our compatriots. Yes?
I think it's a very good idea. I mean, after all, though it would probably benefit having your insight into the situation. So perhaps you can come if they don't want to speak to you quickly, just maybe give it a bad cause, and we'll try and talk. We'll all maybe reconnoiter together. How does that sound?
Well, actually, I was having a small think about this earlier. I tend to do my thinking best when left alone. I would very much like to speak with them a little more in depth tomorrow, just to get a little more information from them. Obviously, we know nothing of what's going on, and well, I fear if your fangs out, as it were, they might be a little tetchy.
Again, wise man.
Thank you. Oh, I hope so. Thank you. I'll wait here.
Fantastic. Yeah, is a chance for me to have seen Sloan come back at sort of at this point. Wonderful.
Yeah.
Sort of. I think for Sloan, it's very much a. I make eye contact with her from across the room, and sort of be a bit of and sort of just like. It's very much a. I make eye contact and then start moving towards her, sort of thing, like so she knows that I'm coming and can either make it clear that she doesn't want to talk to me and I'll ignore her, or avoid me, which is also viable.
Yeah. How would you react, Sloan?
Is there a desire to talk? No. Is there a valid reason to upset a relationship and go out of the way to avoid it? No. I'll remain standing right where I am, looking pleasant as always.
That point of tension of, do I want to upset it? Like, do I want to cause friction, and do I have a reason to talk? Is where I do my best work, so that's great. Where people tolerate me is where I do my best work.
Yeah, absolutely.
Ms. Bailey, a pleasure to see you this evening.
Seems a lot of people are finding new spaces they like being around and trying out new music tastes.
Oh God, no! This place is awful. It's terrible. The music's atrocious. I have I'm working.
I
say it loud enough that someone can hear me, of course.
I'm assuming you're going to tell me all about it.
I was hoping that we could have a bit of a discussion with everyone. I saw your man, Mr. Knox, here earlier. He's waiting sort of just over there, sort of gesturing where Altair's presumably standing. I figured that actually it's been a while since all. And I'm understanding that Mr. Petrovic is here too, so I figured it might be worthwhile having the four of us perhaps compare notes, since we're all in the same place for, I'm sure, completely innocuous reasons.
Well, if you think it's worthwhile getting those four heads together, who am I to stop you?
Thank you so much. Please, whenever you're ready, I assume you have business to attend to, but your presence would be much appreciated.
No, I have business to attend afterwards, so let's get this over with.
Wonderful, yes. That's. I'm assuming Dragoslav has just
Yeah.
like
Well, that's the
heard
thing.
all of this, right?
Question is, Dragoslav, which of the two of those conversations do you want to have heard to know that there's going to be a meeting of minds? When it was Altair and Lewis or Sloane and Lewis?
Well, if it happened quite quickly after Altair and Dragoslav had spoken, then probably it was Altair and Lewis.
Okay.
So I feel like Lewis leaves Altair, and then again Dragoslav is just kind of comes into the picture. It's like he wants a meeting here.
Who am I to question the whims of those who know better than I?
Well, the first mistake is thinking people know better than you.
Oh no, I
Or
just have to
at
say,
least he does.
I think he knows more, though not necessarily better.
Exactly. More is not necessarily better. But he has his strength, I will give him that.
Oh yes, he's very good at terrifying people on a daily basis. He does it better than I do, and I go out specifically to try and terrify people.
You are not very terrifying, little magician.
Is that the new name?
Does it bother you?
No, not necessarily.
Yeah, then maybe something else.
He seems awfully hell-bent on trying to get a blood sample from them.
Well, he is blood mage. He says, it's loud with music, whatever, but kind of like hunching over.
Yes.
So it's, people have been making quite the obvious, astute observations. Someone asked me recently, "Hey, why were you hiding and, spying?" And I'm like, okay.
That's what you do.
Exactly. So that's what Mr. Cohen does. He's creepy and he likes blood. For other reasons.
Yes. Right, I'm going to have to work that one out to try and make sure that we don't end up completely at the bottom of the well.
So I would say that for Lewis and Sloane, you will be going towards Altair to have this little meeting. Or at least Lewis is going to gather people, and you can see that once again Altair is clearly having a conversation, not in such a way that's obvious that people who are here for the gig are going to look at it and question, but seemingly on his own, and you would know what that means. So
Dragoslav, Altair.
Miss Burley.
Hello.
Okay.
He waited. He likes to give it.
Yeah. I was waiting until he spoke up and made himself visible.
Yeah. He will kind of come around as if like has to break contact to kind of appear and then appear back next to Altair.
Shall we go up to the second floor? There are some spaces where you get a good view of the room from there.
I do love good views, he says as he's probably standing tall in front of this crowd.
Yeah. Very good. Yes, our 4 council members can make their way upstairs to somewhere that is private enough that you feel you won't be overheard, but visible enough that you can see what is going on down below.
Do I catch sight of Lewis or Ryan?
Yes. They are seemingly distracting themselves with dancing, or at least Lewis is dancing. Ryan is doing that sort of like I'm at a goth gig thing where it's not full blown like cutting the shapes that goths can do. It's the sway. And they are watching the show, but you can tell that they are positioned perfectly to still keep that group in their sights. So they look unassuming and harmless right now, but you know that they are in a position of observation.
Okay.
Although one of them likes to, or at least comes across as a bit of an idiot sometimes, you know that it is quite the contrary, really.
So, apparently, it's good to have a four-way mind meld.
Is
We're all-
it?
We're all working at towards the same end, and I figured we haven't been able to speak to each other, so I thought it'd be strike while iron's hot, so to speak.
Hmm.
What makes you think that well, it's curious to me that you would take the four of us together because we are working towards the same thing in your mind, but then, well, there are two others present here from our grouping that surely should also work in the same direction as us.
And I think I look towards the dance floor where presumably Lewis and Brian are.
Yeah, you can see the scourges. You can also see the harpy and the ventry primogen.
Well,
Why bring more people into this? 4 heads is enough. 5 or more starts to quarrel. Too many opinions.
also, I trust you, Free. I don't
So
think
what do you want to share opinions on?
Oh, well, it seems our investigations are coming to a sort of something of a cross purposes. Mr. Knox was informing me earlier this evening that he suspects some of the individuals who were at the property that he and Mr. Petrovic investigated are here, and have some reason to believe that it may be linked to some the situation that yourself and I, Miss Bailey, were looking into several nights previously.
They're here. How interesting. I hadn't heard it yet from Altair.
My deepest apologies, I hadn't had chance yet to inform you.
No, I'm sure you didn't. Otherwise, you surely would have.
Yes. Well, I'd seen you here, so I knew you had further information, and well, it made sense that we'd have some sort of come together.
So you
I have a
waited.
full report.
Oh, well, I'm sure that it would help our four-way brain meld if you say everything from your report.
All right. Well, to put it rather simply, there isn't a whole lot of information that they're willing to give, and I have been more focusing on getting more of a, how to word it, connection with the Thin Bloods. People tend to talk a little bit more when they're a little more friendly with somebody, so going in all guns blazing, fangs out, doesn't necessarily get you the information that you require. Going in with a gentler touch can often result with people wanting to speak to you. My initial meeting with them, not a whole lot came from it, if I'm honest. I'm aware that they're dealing drugs. I am aware that they are, well, looking to deal specifically with a kindred. They were more than willing to offer me information on what they had to make a night fun. The Tetchy. I assume that makes sense for a Thin Blood. Other than that, all I really got was the information of the concert tonight. Whether it was some sort of feeling out for who I am, that's all I can guess. That's it.
So have you confirmed if some of them can walk into sun?
Not necessarily yet, no. There seemed to be a lightness to them when it was mentioned, but nothing confirmed. Again, I presume they're not willing to disclose that sort of information to somebody they only just met, which is why I was hoping that, and he will motion down to the dance floor, they may be called off for the night. I'd like to have a further conversation with him either today or, well, tomorrow night or the night after.
All right. Have you been able to confirm numbers?
As of yet, little more than what you already seem to have, a Toreador and a couple of Thin Bloods. I believe I spoke to Thin Blood.
And have you been able to confirm any locations?
Little more than Dragoslav and I found. That's all so far.
That does seem to be all so far. Well, I'm sure your approach will work. We'll just need to wait for results.
Well, if there's one thing that our kind have, that's time.
There's a difference between having time and it being good to wait or not.
I'm sure one night, in the hopes of gaining a lot more information from them, is worth the price we're paying.
And what price would that be?
24 hours.
It is a lot easier to get information from those that talk instead of those that are, well, permanently dead. Not impossible, but you know.
I mean, I'm always willing to offer if apparently they're here. If I'd known earlier, I might have already jumped on it, but point one out and I can surely get some answers from them as well.
With all respect, you and I conduct business a little differently.
Absolutely, and why not conduct two sides to come together in the middle? See what both find. Seems efficient.
Yes, but one must assume that the enemy is a little more intelligent than given credit for. They're probably just aware that there is something afoot, as we are. Or at least, if two people were to question them on similar facts, they're probably going to be a lot more jumpy about it.
I'm sure our ways of questioning would also be very different. And
Yes,
one side might not remember.
I mean, you're willing to, if you want to. I would ask, though, for 24 hours.
I'm sure you're not publicly questioning the way I handle my things and approach certain investigations. If I
No,
was of bad will, I would read that into your words, but well, I'm sure I actually look at Dragoslav and Lewis. I'm sure that's not what I'm reading into any of this.
no, it was a request so that I may continue the work I've been doing. No reflection on yours whatsoever.
I'll file your request then and look at it. But I'm
Fabulous.
sure we were brought here for a mind meld. Indeed, Lewis. All my apologies.
No, please, it's fine. Just if you do happen to go down the sort of as Mr. Knox so eloquently put it, the fangs out approach, do let me know. I don't love dealing with Ms. Jones, but if I need to, that's more her. Once we've more her domain than mine. Sure, I can call in a favor or some such if I needed. Mr. Petrovic, while I've got you here, actually, there was a matter that I was wondering if you've been
Yes.
keeping your eyes on. You are a worldly individual, keeps your
I
finger on the
suppose.
pulse of the city, so to speak. Um, are you aware of any sort of significant significant building developments happening, sort of specifically around sort of Penitent reminds himself of a thing in their
Reverse
notes.
Kirkyard.
Yes, that's the one. Thank
Mhm.
you. Near the sort of region of Greyfriars. Are you aware of any?
Am
The
I?
matter we
God?
discussed of the other day.
Building?
Building?
No, not necessarily.
Are you asking after a construction site? Or
Something like that. Some sort of. I'm not entirely certain, but something to do with building or digging or something of that nature.
not necessarily?
Maybe something to. If you hear of anything, I would I would very much appreciate you pointing me in its direction. Again, side investigation, not unrelated to our main. I hope unrelated to our current work. Any?
So,
Oh, please.
yes. Continue.
No. I defer to you, Primogen.
What is the goal tonight? Is it to get more information? The 24 hours? Look into digging? Do we have a clear objective of why we're doing this mind meld? Information I have, if it's useful for this, I'm yet to figure that out. How did your discovery or investigation of the possible ritual site go? This thing about the sun god.
Oh, yes. Well, lots of potential information about some about references to renewal, the spring, and there was I. This is why Mr. Knox, I was discussing earlier, if potentially you could get some while you're dealing with these individuals, if you get some samples of their blood, it would be really appreciated. I'll be able to find them much quicker if I can get a sample. I'll be able to identify who was involved in that grim business very quickly, I believe.
Oh, you would, Lewis.
Yes, if provided I have a sample, I need to
From
correlate it with
any of them?
I would prefer it if it was the rose as opposed to the Duskborn, but I have suspicion that they were the ones that I'm currently seeking.
Well, I'm sure if you have preferences, but any of them would still help you forward. We could
Oh,
arrange
definitely.
that tonight. It seems like a good first step. And I have some people present who would be very good at helping us out for that. That doesn't seem like a problem and actually a good way forward. Indeed. I'm sure you can glean a lot of information from their blood. Other information, of course, and could be gleaned from talking to them. So it doesn't seem like a waste of route.
No, it's
Very good. So then we have two routes forward, it seems. One is the social route, where Altair here has asked for 24 hours to get close to them to get information. And then the other route is we go and get some blood to get things started on, well, your more ritualistic route. Sounds
This
like
does-
a plan.
It does seem like a plan. I knew this would be helpful.
Sounds like plan.
I have nothing else I need to discuss. Does anyone else have anything before we perhaps go about our evening?
Yes. Maybe I shall observe Mr. Knox's talking.
Absolutely.
I think it wise to have somebody of your necessary persuasion to help, yes.
Good.
Perfect. Then I'm sure we'll see each other very soon. And I will take Lewis here and go get started on our route.
Fabulous. Please
Indeed.
lead on.
So, it has been proposed that there's a split and a two-pronged approach, or at least two. Lewis and Sloan are going together for theirs, correct?
Yes, and I very much made it clear that seeing as we're both not physical people, I will get the scourges involved in our
Yes.
route.
Yeah. Dragoslav and Altair, you're kind of left behind while Lewis and Sloan dip off to do their business. What do the two of you do?
I think Altair has his hand in his pocket on his phone, but is gonna side-eye Dragoslav.
Gonna
So
turn
when-
his head towards you.
So, the social route.
Yes. That's more your thing.
In a sense. One thing I find rather useful for the social route is that somebody is alive, or at least has a semblance of animatedness about them.
How well, I can make sure they're still talking if you wish to use a more physically persuasive route.
Oh, no, I was rather concerned that Ms. Burley is going to get the Scourge to kill them, or at least let them loose, and I'm not entirely certain how restrained they can be.
Well, they might lose one of them at least. I'm not sure of all of them. I assume that bothers you.
Yes, actually. Partially because of, well, I made them a promise, and secondly because, well, it's going to make them not want to talk.
Correct. So, what do you propose? It is
So,
your problem.
it is. My proposal would be to get them out of here as fast as possible and have them take the most public routes home.
Hmm. Do you have an exit plan for yourself anytime soon?
Hmm. I always fancied Iceland.
Hmm. Yes. I see that the tension between you and Miss Burley. But I don't think she will take kindly that they will be gone after you talk to them. So, as long as you're okay with that.
Hmm. I may allow them to do what they need to do tonight and explain myself to them tomorrow. To the Thin Bloods, not to Miss Burley.
Okay. I do think you do need to get information from them, though. Whatever is happening between what Miss Burley and Mr. Cohen were investigating. I cannot shake that there is something that connects to these thin bloods.
That's my hope. I know it's a bit of a hopeless cause, but if I can get them out of the city, I can hopefully get whatever they're planning to do away from the city as well. It saves us and it saves them. If there's something to do with the sunlight, then we're not necessarily known for handling it particularly well, is it?
No. Okay. Well, how about you talk? I listen. I could go and check what the other people are saying. Or do you wish for me to offer Miss Burley a different way of gathering said blood?
I think that's up to you, if I'm honest.
Hmm. Is it? Because tonight I feel more like a spectator. This is your little show. I am excited to see how it goes.
I think for tonight, Miss Burley is already on edge. We let her do as she needs to do.
Yes. You may not be able to say everyone, Mr. Knox. And it is
No.
something you will have to live with.
No, I know. But thank you. And thank you for not ratting me out to them immediately.
It is not convenient for me to do so.
I can't wait for the day that it is.
Well, let's just hope you don't lose my interest anytime soon. Now that is very dangerous.
I suppose I'll have to keep myself interesting.
I suppose so. Let's go, Mr. Knox.
What if we were two goth vampires and we were very interesting to each other at the damn concert?
And what is it? What year is it? 2011 damn concert.
2011.
Yeah.
Just two guys
two
standing
guys.
5 feet apart.
To God.
Because they're not
Sitting-
gay. The correct Vine reference, of course.
Yeah.
Okay. So, Sloan and Lewis, you are going to find the scourges first, correct?
I think so.
So you can approach them. To the untrained eye, it does look like they're just enjoying themselves and one dancing, one swaying. But they clock that you were there before it seems they've even seen you. And he'll flip around, look at the both of you, grin, point at you, Lewis, and be like, "Hey, it's my namesake. What up, twin brother?"
Sorry.
Good evening, Mr. Grant. Always a pleasure.
Hey, how's it going?
I'm very well. Are you enjoying yourself?
Yeah, are you?
No, this music's terrible.
I'm not sure what your taste is. What kind of music do you like, Mr. Cohen?
Don't have that much time for music anymore. Busy. I'm always
Oh,
busy
that's like
working,
worse
unfortunately.
than having a damn. I mean, I knew you would say something that was probably boring, but I don't have time for music anymore. What the fuck,
Hmm.
man? Well, we'll try and find you something. Give you a little bit additional bulk to your personality there. How does that sound?
I look forward to whatever education you offer me.
Great. All right. What can I do you for? And he'll turn around and give Sloan a more respectful nod of his head.
I think you've done enough warming up on the dance floor to go out for a jog.
Yes, yes, yes. What do you need? Are we just let loose to do whatever we want, or would you prefer a particular approach?
There is something that will be very useful for everyone involved if we get one of them away from prying eyes, away enough to just have a little bit of a conversation. Might involve some threatening if they don't comply, but then who knows, we might let them loose again. But we need a certain thing from them, which Mr. Cohen here will help with. So go off on a jog. If you find a flower, get a flower. But if not, get one.
Oh yeah. We've identified which one's a flower. All right.
What was that?
We've identified which one is the flower.
I'll give a glance at Lewis to confirm that that is indeed his preference.
Yes, I think I'm. Lewis is like, if I could speak with the flower, that would be delightful.
Perfect. So, I'm sure that there is a place a little bit outside of here with way less people, way less noise, a little bit of room to do with as we please.
All right. You guys need to spectate.
You're free to do whatever you want as long as you bring them to me. And no visible wounds would be useful.
Yeah. Yeah, my friend's good at that. All right. Out back in like 10 minutes.
That sounds delightful. And who knows, maybe later tonight you'll be able to let loose a little bit more. Discreetly, of course.
Oh, thank you for your permission.
Oh,
And
you
he
know
bows.
I am not the one who needs to give you permission. We both are very aware of that.
Oh no, but we work respectfully in each other's bounds.
Couldn't
right.
do it without you.
Ditto. And he will go and like pat the sort of shoulders of Ryan. And the two of them slink off at first, get lost in the crowd a little bit. And if they're good at their job, you will see them out back in 10 minutes. So, assuming that all is going nicely, Dragoslav and Altair, what are you two up to?
I am invisible
Uh-huh.
and I have a rat.
Tagline, I am invisible and I have a rat.
I come armed. She will
Mhm.
bet you.
So, Altair, what is your approach then? Texting or going to speak face to face?
I think texting.
Okay.
I
Uh-huh.
I think we'll find sort of somewhere near the back of the sort of, I guess, main pit.
Yep.
Doing the whole leaned up against the wall, 1 foot against it, trying to look very nonchalant about the whole situation.
Yep.
We'll text Kyle and we'll just sort of say, could do with a word at the concert, and like a second message at the back as a third message.
Yes. The back, the safe place. Okay. Very good. So the message is sent. You'll get a reply that is simply a thumbs up. And we will assume that you will get your chance to have a talk with Kyle. Around the back, the first thing that we're gonna see is in one particular corner. Around the backs of venues is where a multitude of things occur. A lot of them could be classified as sinful, if you believe in such. There's an area that is clearly not accessible to people. It is perhaps an area where staff can go and access. It is cordoned off, but kindred don't tend to care about such things. So it is unseen, you believe, to other things. And woe betide if there was actually any technology in the area trying to surveil, given that you're about to have a La Sombra do their business back there. The two of you may be there first. Eventually, you are going to see a woman come out. Clearly one of the the people who had been stood at this merch stand. She has long dark hair, a side shave, is dressed appropriately for a Damned concert, clearly into her post-punk goth music. And she looks a little confused at first. Like she's, you would guess, maybe not sure how she got there. And as she turns around, you guys see the scene from your stance, rather than her spotting you at first, so that you get a little bit of a show, I suppose. And our camera, if this was cinematic, as I often enjoy my scenes to be, you see her turning around and looking in confusion, and then almost like something out of Peter Pan, if it was as sinister as the story was meant to be. You see her shadow move without her in a direction opposite to her at first. And then it starts to shift and move closer to her. And you will see her shadow essentially lifting off of the wall, condensing in a way into something much more. It goes beyond a blackness, it goes beyond the dark and shadows. It is something so much more than that. And almost, if smoke could be viscous, because it's not a liquid, but it looks like it is moving in a liquid fashion, and it wraps its way around her throat. And you see her squirm slightly against it, as her own shadow is going to envelop her with tendrils and almost pin her back against the wall into itself. And the whole area starts to darken slightly, as if street lights had started to dim, but you don't believe that they have. You will feel that darkening effect for the pair of you as well, and it's like the alleyway gets a good few degrees colder than it was before. Eventually you're going to see Ryan step out from around the corner, and he often looks like he could just fade into the background. He tends to wear all black clothes, unassuming, very quiet, very watchful. But in this moment, shadows are clinging to him a little more than usual. His face is darkened slightly, and his eyes look almost entirely black. And then you will see Lewis number 2 popping out with a little grin. He steps up. You can tell that he says something to her in a way that has the bared, toothy grin of the sort of predators that Bruja are. They are aggressive attack dog style. He says something to her that, although there is a smile on his face, whatever he said clearly is not fun or funny, as she looks rather horrified. He's then going to look over to you two and just do this. Hey, name twin. You wanting to do some spooky shit, or can we go at it?
Yeah, I think
There's maybe a moment, because here's the thing. I think Lewis enjoys being the sort of. The thing about Tremere is that you are often assumed to be the spooky bitches of a room, right? Because you're blood sorcerers. But in the face of the La Sombra using their abilities, you're like, oh, I'm not the spookiest guy in the room right now.
No, definitely. And I think I need to ask a question to you, just about how an ability of mine works.
Yes.
I need to check if my ability Theft of Vitae works on kindred or not.
Okay, so technically, rules as written, no. In my games, because it's cool as shit right now, yes.
Yeah, that was what I was hoping is what you would say. At which point, yeah.
I think it's maybe it requires a little more concentrated effort from you in your role.
Yeah,
because you will have
that's-
to roll for. I did believe there is a roll for it.
they have a defense against it.
Okay. Okay. So I'll maybe give her an extra dice in trying to defend against it.
Mhm.
But so it's a little harder with a kindred, I would say, because Vitae
Yeah.
is unlike blood. Blood is a very
Actually moves.
liquid thing, and it moves and it drips and it can pour and it can splash and all that wonderful stuff that blood can do. Vitae doesn't do that.
Do that.
It
No,
doesn't
it just
behave
sort of
in that kind
sits
of way.
inert
Yeah.
until we tell it
yeah.
to. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. So
yeah.
I suppose what happens then that my name twin asks me if I want to do any spooky shit,
Yes.
and I just kind of like I just sort of sigh, and I just kind of like really quite lazily just kind of just pull my hand over, just go like that, and yeah, her. I mean, I'll roll and see how well it works, I guess.
Sure.
You always should do that before you describe how cool it looks, because you
Yes,
never know.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely, I should, which is why
Hey,
I'm not going to
yeah.
get
Because you
into it.
describe it as cool and then you roll shittily and you're like, and none of that
Yeah.
happens.
We fail
none of that
forward though.
happens.
If it's a bestial failure or a
Oh, that would
messy
be wonderful,
critical,
wonderfully exciting.
I'd make
I'm
it
sure.
work maybe a little too effective.
Yeah.
Yeah. So wits and blood sorcery versus wits and occult. Oh,
Yes,
that's
those
not
are
going
their
to
wits
be
occult.
okay.
Probably not. Hopefully not super high for
No.
them. Whereas mine's like all right.
She got 2.
Okay, so that's my I think I did the wrong roll.
No, you succeeded on your rouse check for it. Because you have to rouse check for blood sorcery.
Oh, and then
You
I got 3 successes.
3 successes, yeah, which beats
Sorry,
her 2. So
cool. I'm gonna re-roll just to why
add some
not?
stank on it. Yeah, I mean, I
Yeah,
can
just
will
make
her
it
real. She does have 2 other
grosser.
dice, so oh well. She got 3, but you got 4. So
Yeah, well, that
the
was
2
good.
of
That
you
was
try
good.
to you can feel this battle of wills as you're trying to do it. This look of horror in her face as she can't really move. And yeah. We can.
And then just we see her resisting,
Yes.
and then just rivets of blood explode out of every orifice of hers,
Yeah.
and just fly towards me.
Yeah. And it sure does. As we stated in our disclaimer at the start, guys, this is the world of darkness. So there is this sort of like kind of horrific sound where it looks like Ryan doesn't really react to it because he's very in the zone, in touch with oblivion right now, and he's like, nah, there's a moment of like, rather than horror on his face, your named twin goes like,
oh, you're actually also a freak.
Like, let's go. And he looks absolutely delighted at this. And actually, for the entertainment, we'll almost like try to see like, can I pull some of that towards me? But it will
Try to catch it like a snowflake.
Yeah. Sloan, what would you say your face profile is at viewing everything that is happening in front of you right now? Be it the Lasombra ability, be it Lewis, be it this. What is your face doing right now?
I think there's a I would want to say like close to akin to annoyed, simply because I'm imagining surely there are more efficient ways to just quickly take some blood from someone than to make a spectacle like this out of it. So there is that, and I think that will lead me to in the moment that this is happening, more closely watch the surroundings even more.
Do me a quick wits awareness, if you will. If you have things like sense the unseen or heightened senses, feel free to use them. But
I will browse to search.
Yeah.
So I do get hungrier.
Thankfully, you can't bestial fail in a rouse check.
Very true.
Very good.
4 successes.
I think you don't get a sense that there is anybody watching this right now. I think you're aware that you sure hope that his efficiency at being able to make this mess in the first place, that he is just efficient at cleaning it up.
Yeah.
Is perhaps going through your mind, because it's like there's the foresight enough to be like, are there people watching us? But also thinking ahead to making it seem like you've not been here. And that's a concern. Okay. So Lewis, I imagine you have options with the blood you're able to will and control and pull towards yourself. Are you trying to collect it in a vessel?
I think some of it goes into a vessel, but I'm already at hunger free. I may as well, have a light snack while I'm here. You know,
Yeah,
it'd be a waste of Vita otherwise.
very true.
Um,
And there's a couple of things. There's always a risk to drinking the vitae of another kindred.
there is.
Obviously. There's perhaps, and correct me if I am wrong, a ballsy enough approach to Lewis to be thinking, I'm not really worried about drinking this person's blood because there's a strong chance she's not going to be alive for much longer. For it
There's
to be a
that.
concern.
Yeah, there's definitely that, and I think there's definitely a bit of a there's definitely a ballsy enough in that sentiment, and also of a well, if I get, if it doesn't, and the bloodbind starts to affect me, then that's even more interesting, because then how do I kill this person whilst also bloodbound to them?
Yeah. Ooh,
Which
a
is
challenge.
really exciting, a challenge
Yeah,
to me.
yeah.
How do I manipulate myself to kill someone that I'm bloodbound to?
And the good thing about it being the first step is that you can get 3 steps towards blood bonding.
Yeah,
The first step, first drink, is just you're a bit more favorable to the person, but it doesn't
yeah.
mean that you are, any stronger than that.
Hmm.
Okay. So, target acquired. Is there anything else you guys are doing down here?
Yes, absolutely.
Mhm.
My plan of approach there, not having to focus in on all of it, is let Lewis do his thing and get the blood that he needs to get the answers.
Mhm.
Once he does, I wanted to get an answer out of them. I will, again, intentions wise, I will once Lewis is done, once he has done his part, grab this woman's chin,
Mhm.
force her head towards me so I can look her in the eyes and
Mhm.
use the powers that my blood gives me to dominate them, to answer my next question truthfully,
Mhm.
intention wise speaking. Um, if that were to work or not, I would ask them what what are your plans?
Mhm. Okay.
Yeah. So
Um,
that's the
all right. So let's build the initial roll. And what I am going to say is, because she is currently bound by her own shadow using oblivion powers, I'm going to allow you to add 2 dice to what you're doing, because it is a lot easier for you to try and dominate the mind of somebody who's already terrified.
It's also worth noting she's currently undergoing the effects of the kiss, because I'm
Yeah, there's a lot
using
going on
festive
with this
Vita on
person.
her.
That's true. You're so right, bestie. She's
Just
real
to make it even
desperate.
harder for her to resist.
bestie.
She's real fucked up right now.
Yeah. Having a real bad no good time. Um worth checking into audience, by the way. We've checked each other's lines and veils. We're all okay. So just so you're aware of that. So let's build this roll. Um I'm assuming it is another manipulation task, but there's maybe a set roll for you to do for your ability that you're trying to use.
Manipulation, dominate versus intelligence and resolve.
Okay. And I'm gonna allow you to add 2 dice to it. You've already done a blood surge, so you will get to add that as well.
Yeah.
Um So, very good. And then yeah, you've got the extra 2 situational dice.
Yep.
Not terrible, but I feel like you're about to smash it with. Don't you love it when Ventrue?
Yeah.
Uh,
Not gonna
okay.
spend willpower even, so 7.
No. You can feel when somebody's will bends to you to understand that your power is working in this regard. So what is your initial question?
Yeah, I think my task to them is to answer my next question truthfully. I think if again, I don't know how complicated you can go. I would, if possible, I would go, oh, the next 5 minutes answer my all of my questions truthfully,
Yeah.
but I don't know if I have more than one question. So let's
Yes.
just say that the next 5 minutes you will answer all of my questions truthfully. Which is what I directly tell them as I make eye contact with them. After which I will ask, what are your plans in this town?
I was to make a home to settle and to create a I'm here to fulfill a purpose.
And what is the purpose that you want to fulfill?
I don't know yet what it's going to entail. I haven't been told.
Who is giving you orders?
The harpy. I don't know
How
what
are
it
you supposed to make a home here?
I have a haven. I have made children. I don't know yet what it entails after this, and you can see there are tears building in her eyes, and her horror at not being able to tell you more in that regard is painful to her in this moment, because she feels so compelled to tell you what you need and want to hear, and and it is almost painful that she can't give more than that.
What are you waiting on?
I was told that I will be a herald of the sun, and I don't know what that means.
But
I don't know what it
you
means.
have established your home. You've finished your task that was in front of you. What is your next step? Who are you waiting on? What are you waiting on?
Further instructions.
From whom?
The harpy?
Does the harpy look like, and I give a fake description of Trisha?
Trisha, yeah. She nods her head. Yes.
How does she reach out to you?
She talks to me.
Does she visit you or does she call you?
Both.
What does she does more often?
I don't know.
Where do you live?
Hold, please. I need to remember Portobello Beach. I live in Portobello Beach.
Is that different from the place we
No,
had?
that's the place you've been told, yeah. I
Does it look like she's going to say something? Or
no.
oh, okay. Yeah. I thought
Mhm.
you started a sentence.
No. She's
Yeah.
yeah. I don't know anything else.
Do you think you deserve to still be around?
Yes.
Why?
Because people still need me and want me here.
So because other people still see value in what you can do, you think you deserve to still be around? After being a traitor.
Yes. And you see blood tears streaming down her face. The young are celebrated.
What was that? The younger
The
celebrated?
young are celebrated.
Where are they celebrated?
I don't know. That's just what I'm told.
You sure seem to follow a lot of orders without knowing things, don't you?
That's all anybody does in this life. Follow somebody's orders.
So what was the first order you decided to follow?
I don't know.
What was the first order the harpy gave you?
To make more.
I give a glance to Cohen, to Mr. Cohen next to me.
Hmm.
Well, I think I've gotten all that's useful out of her. Is there something that you'd like answered? Perhaps about the ritual.
Yes, if you'd be so kind just to ask her if she. Sorry, I should also ask Hamalu, was this when I drink the blood of this individual, is
Mhm.
it the same person who donated Vita to the ritual site?
No.
No, wonderful. Then I will ask them. Of course, if you'd be so kind to ask them who it was who supplied the Vita for their little experiment with
Do you
with the
know
flower.
who? Do you know about the ritual happening in X Street?
Mhm. No.
Do you know about any of the Finbloods that are living with you or that you have made that are doing ritualistic endeavors?
They make potions, but it's not rituals.
Can all of them walk in the sun?
No.
Any of them
Well,
walk in the sun.
One of them.
Which
give us
one?
a description of the person who
Um,
can walk in the sun.
Sloan, you'll start to feel the 5
Yeah.
minutes
Yeah.
easing off.
This is the last one.
Yeah. They're they've mid-length brown hair and piercings. I don't know what you want me to say.
I we don't have to go into detail, but basically be like male, female, and get like at least height,
you
male or
start to see,
female.
and you're starting to see a little more edge to her answers, which is
Yeah.
what is indicating to you that the influence is easing off. Because she's getting a little sassier.
Yeah.
Neither.
Yep. I'll yet again, I mean, no, she's looking at me. We are talking, so I don't even need to grab her. When I will use dominate on them again, but I will rewrite their memories, and I will use forgetful mind on them.
Okay.
To clean up, and my intention is to let them run off, I think.
Sure. Very good. If you do a quick roll for forgetful mind, and then we'll let her run back to her friends.
Sure.
Knowing that something awful has happened, but perhaps her mind a little scrambled with what answers she has given.
We'll see how good the roll is. I will. That's already 9.
It's already 9 successes, dude.
Is it?
Yeah.
I don't know. Oh yeah, Emma, you're muted.
It is 9, but it's a messy critical.
Yes. I'll. If you'll just allow me to, I'll do this as well. I use willpower on that as well to get me up to a 12. Possible messy crit. I would really like for her to, if it messes with the story, it doesn't have to be, but only remember from all of this that she went outside with a nice looking younger man. She shared a bit of a drink that made her that affected her as a kindred wildly enough, so it's all a little bit fuzzy. But she is unharmed, so there's no evidence of anything happening. So want her to remember she went outside, she had a little bit of a drink with a guy, and then just went inside again.
Okay. Very good. Yeah, I would say with that amount of success, that is fine. I think the messy crit is that I'm going to give you a compulsion as part of essentially what you do with this next session is you are determined to, in one way, shape, or form, find this person who can walk in the sun. And you're going to be a bit of a dog with a bone about that until you have successfully done so. But she will look a little confused at first and then run inside. We're going to jump over to the other two. I'm aware we only have 10 minutes left, but we'll do what we can in that time. It may go over ever so slightly. First things first, Altair, what does the content of your text message say?
So it was more or less to say...
It was about trying to meet.
Yes, so he's standing at the back of the venue. So still in the sort of like, I guess like the main standing area, but right at the back.
Yeah. So you're gonna get that text and sort of be ready to receive this person to hopefully have a conversation. Before that happens, kind of coming in your field of view, heavily shrouded and to your mind, Dragoslav, using the sort of ability to mask his face is Garrett. He looks a lot like himself, but essentially himself had he not become a Nosferatu. So the facial structure hasn't changed that much.
He just looks human.
A little more human, but you know, he's goth up and he's at a damn concert, so it really doesn't matter. He crosses your field of view, Altair, and is coming to find you, Dragoslav. Now you had initially dropped the being seen to then go invisible. So what I'd like to say, and correct me if I'm wrong on this, that the two of you have a means by which to essentially track one another, using technology if needs be. And so he kind of comes into the general area, hoping that you are here. And we'll say, drag, and then eyes you Altair, so that you know that he's there, so that either Dragoslav will reveal himself, or you will be able to answer Garrett about where Dragoslav is.
Dragoslav will put a hand on Garrett's shoulder. He will keep the invisibility, will put a hand on his shoulder. I think that often happens, and he knows the weight of like Dragoslav's hands.
We need to talk. Urgent. Real urgent.
All Altair hears is I'll be back. And not too dissimilar, kind of drags Garrett like he did Altair somewhere.
Shit is going down, and I feel like it's something that we need to act on like right now. I don't know what you guys are up to here and how important you think this is, but
what's happening?
Do my surveillance tonight, and I often do loops around the kirkyard anyway, because not only is it keeping an eye on certain entrances and exits, but also it keeps an eye on them. You know them to be Tremere. He's been trying to track Tremere given everything that's going on right now. And I witnessed a van pull its way into the kirkyard itself, up to the church itself, and start offloading barrels. And at first I was like, why are we moving barrels into a churchyard? So I get closer, obviously, and the scent was pretty remarkable right away. It is barrels of Vitae. And witnessed a couple people, including, hold please, Maggie Caldwell and Terry Fordyce. You have an awareness, Dragoslav, that they are members of the Camarilla, but they're not of position. Maggie is a Toreador that's a childer of the Harpy. And Terry is just a Bruja fledgling who's in her coterie, but unremarkable. He's just young and of so little significance. You guys don't tend to pay attention to people who are that young and without power, unless there's a reason to. And they were talking about bloodening for a new soldier. Like, so I don't know what's going on here. I'm sure it's great. I'm sure it's very interesting. And there's a lot of cool shit going on, whatever. But like, I feel like our priorities may have just shifted a little.
Yes.
And I could have just kept following them, but I was like, I can't. I need us to like act on this now.
You did well. We have to move now.
What are we gonna do about that? What the fuck? What is that?
That is not thing for you to worry about. Let me worry about it.
Oh, okay. I'll just stop worrying then.
You can't see me, but I'm giving you a look.
I can feel it.
Yeah. Let me gather the others. Did you hear anything else about why or who or what is happening?
No. Those statements were said and then they disappeared within, and I would have gone within, but I can't hide myself from cameras, so I don't want to clock people onto the fact that I was listening. I know that they have some inside the entrance to the church for security. Now I'm thinking it's not just mortal security.
Good. Okay.
And the weird shit that's going on in the I'm just okay. Where do you need me to go?
I need you to update the High Lord.
Okay.
Tell him what you saw. I am going to tell my group.
Okay. Do you need me to get more NOS eyes on this? I can pull them from other areas.
get some nose eyes on this Margaret and the harpy.
Okay. He immediately goes onto his phone and starts firing messages for basically a proximity check. I'm in this location, who's closest, and then is gonna pull whoever's closest to then keep an eye on the harpy.
He will message Damiana to see if there is any cameras that she can hack into in that area to get eyes on there before they even make it there.
Okay. So the Nosweb is in action. Dragoslav, I will leave you to find your friends.
He will immediately contact Altair. You'll just feel his hand on his shoulder. Something's happening in the kirkyard. Something bad. We need to leave.
Noted. Right, come on.
Need to find your manager and Kawan. They'll be useful for this.
Perfect. I'll go and collect them. You make a start.
Tell them all I know is the petals of vitae are being shoveled into that church in the kirkyard.
Yes, right, yes.
Go. If your new friends survive, you gave them everything you could. Okay, it's on their end now to leave.
Yes, if he's gonna turn and start sort of semi-jogging, we'll just send a message to Kyle that says, get out, stay safe, stay in busy places.
Okay.
That is all that says. It's misspelled as fuck because he's semi-running.
Yeah. That'll do.
Yeah.
That'll do. We'll run to the back. We'll see if he can see the other two.
And Dragoslav's already leaving.
Yeah.
I think actually. Oh yeah, no, sorry, he'll run.
Interestingly, Sloane and Lewis are coming away from something very interesting, and then you're going to encounter Altair running out of the place towards you guys, looking, I imagine, some state of panic.
Little bit. We'll sort of like hand on door frame. We'll sort of almost swing out of it to stop himself from barging into the other two. We have a message from Dragoslav and the network. We need to get to the kirkyard immediately. You're awfully calm about this. We need to run.
Quick answer, why?
Barrels of vitae.
I'll follow.
I think the second that sort of Sloane registers, he's just gonna book it.
Yeah. So, Lewis, I'm assuming you may follow as well.
Yeah.
The rest of it might have been like, why
is
is this my buckets of vitae, you say?
Yeah, that was
That's
kind of
what
where
you
I was.
say.
I was like, why do I oh, hang on.
So, whatever else may be happening here, whatever information has been gathered at this gig, it seems something rather large is happening in Greyfriars Kirkyard. And next week, with our finale, we're going to go and find out what the fuck is going on inside of the church. Thank you for joining us today, everybody. This has been a very interesting session with further threads being woven together. Our story is nearly complete. I'm going to allow my players to tell you who they are, who they'll be playing, and where you can find them on the internet if you have anything to plug. So please, I will go last.
Good evening, everyone. I have been and continue to be Penitent. I have been playing Lewis Cowan. You can generally only really find me here on the Transmissions RPG. I'm not really anywhere else on the internet. It's broadly bad out there. I try not to be on it as in general. So I don't really have anything to plug, but I hope people have had fun, and I hope you keep coming back, because I'm very excited about where we go next for the end of this adventure story, whatever you want to call it.
Hi, I'm Syrinx. I've been having a pleasure being a very, very bad person. Not even person, vampire, really. Next week is our final time. I'm curious to see where we'll end up. Other than that, the only thing I want to plug is be there next week with us, please. Thank you.
Yeah.
Howdy, I've been Magpie. You can find me on Blue Sky at Anticara. That is about it. That's all I have to plug. I just yap on there.
Nice.
Hi everyone, my name is Satan, or less a vamp on the internet. You can find me here playing Dragoslav for one more night. Next week, please be there. You can find me here and across the internet playing a bunch of TTRPG. I don't really do a lot of social media. That's me.
Mm-hmm. Very good. And hi, it's me. I'm Emma, or Humble on the internet. You can find me here most of the time. As I said, we have our Dragon Age story tomorrow, for another episode, which has also been rather dramatic. You'll see the finale of this next week, and we're cooking up another story over at Valdrian's channel. Not ready to fully announce what that is yet, but keep an eye on socials. One other thing to plug before we go and raid somebody is a group from a channel called Tales of Myth and Mayhem got in touch because they've been running a fairly lengthy, I believe, multiple episodes, 19 sessions of Running Fall of London, which is the story that kind of runs on after this story. And they kind of reached out to say that they'd been enjoying this. So a little shout out to you guys. Hi. In terms of going to raid somebody, let's raid Freddy again, if that's all right. Produce Ben, the voice of God in our ears. A dear friend of the channel, and is currently doing some art. Apparently, he's taking some requests for things to draw in chat. So if you want to go and see what he's up to and maybe offer up a suggestion of something that he could draw, then stick around for that. Otherwise, we'll see you here next week, everybody. Bye.